Kinds or aspects of love. One is aghast at such astonishing statements. God has genuine, compassionate, sympathetic love for those whom he has predestined to eternal torment, whom he could save but never intended to, and for whom Christ did not die? Words seem to have a different meaning for the Calvinist than for the ordinary person who understands love and sympathy by the God-given conscience, of which the Calvinist seems bereft. Genuine compassion for a derelict would not just leave him there, but would do all that could be done to rescue him. Otherwise, it is not the compassion of the Good Samaritan, who cared for the derelict, Luke chapter 10, verses 33 to 35, but the hypocrisy of the priest and Levite, who passed by on the other side, Luke chapter 10, verses 31 and 32, and left the robbed and wounded victim to die, and worse, predestined that condition. The love MacArthur attributes to God is like that of those condemned by James, who say to one naked and starving, "Depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled," but give him nothing. James chapter 2, verses 15 and 16. God, through the Apostle James, condemns such doublespeak. Yet God himself is guilty of such hypocrisy. MacArthur attempts to escape the conscience by suggesting that, in some sense, God loves his enemies. And by hiding behind the idea of two aspects of God's love, his universal love for all humanity, and his particular love of the elect, which must not be confounded. But an aspect of love, whatever that might mean, still love. And it is not love of any kind, nor is it any aspect thereof, to predestine to damnation any who could just as well have been saved. Luther tries to defend the same contradiction. Having declared that Christ came to offer to all men all that is necessary for salvation, he adds that the will of majesty purposely leaves and reprobates some to perish. Nor is it for us to ask why. Why? There is no answer to this blatant contradiction, and to hide behind mystery is irresponsible. All that is necessary? Then all would be saved. What an un-Calvinistic statement! Yet Spurgeon agreed. How could anyone disagree, since this is what God himself declared? What could have been done more to my vineyard, Israel, than I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. Isaiah chapter 5, verses 3 and 4. Here is the message of the entire Bible. God himself says he has done all he could in providing salvation, which he offers freely in his love and grace to all mankind. But it can't be forced upon anyone. It must be received by faith in his promise. God is genuinely mourning over Israel. What more could God have done? That question is mockery if Calvinism is true. He could have predestined them to salvation, extended irresistible grace, sovereignly regenerated them, and given them faith to believe the gospel. If this is imposed by sovereign will, with no choice by man required. The only way that God could have done all he could, yet men remain unsaved, is if man may choose to accept or reject the salvation he offers. That conclusion is inescapable, but that biblical logic cannot be acknowledged, for it would destroy Calvinism. This passage in Isaiah 5 is generally given a wide berth by Calvinist apologists. White avoids it. MacArthur attempts to support his misrepresentation of God's love with an equally mistaken statement from 17th century Calvinist pastor and writer Andrew Fuller. Likewise, God gave no effectual grace to those who are accused of bringing forth wild grapes instead of grapes. Yet he looked for, and asked what he could have done more for his vineyard that he had not done. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 4. Well, he could have given effectual grace, except that this term isn't biblical, but is an invention of Calvinists to support their theory. How can it be rationally said that God offers all that is necessary to salvation to those he purposely leaves and reprobates to perish? The conflict would be resolved, the contradiction disappear, the misrepresentation of God be erased, and God's love be vindicated by the simple admission that man has a God-given genuine power of choice. But the Calvinist cannot admit to that fact, nor could Luther, after writing an entire book against free will.